everybody. It's your girl Chanel here. How are you? It's been a long time. I know that since I've done a video. I'm driving right now in this Atlanta traffic. I'm over here on the, what they call it, the upper west side is what this is called, or upper midtown or something like that. Yeah. But it's a lot of traffic today. I'm literally going like 10 miles an hour behind a line of cars. It's a typical day in Atlanta, I guess. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful day, and I have been impaled. I've been getting this tugging at my heart. I've been getting this call, I guess you would say. You know, like when a man trying to get with you, and he just, you know, he kind of relentless. He's just like, oh, you gonna be mine one day, or, you know, and saying little stuff like that, and trying to, you know, get you to give him a chance. I've been having that feeling, but from God. Like, I've been going through a lot of stuff, relationship wise, with people and men, family and friends and things like that, and it just seems like nothing works. It doesn't matter how nice I am, it doesn't matter how patient I am, it don't work. And for a minute I started to say, like, you know, the common denominator in all those instances is me. So maybe it's just me, and maybe it is me. Maybe I'm just like, you know, I'm too different. I'm definitely, I don't know what it is about me that makes a lot of people not be able to really handle me. There are some people now, they get it, and they're not offended, they're not all but hurt, and they're definitely not jealous, they're not envious, they're not trying to hurt me any kind of way. But majority of like the people that I run into, I'll say men for one, a lot of them, they're like broken, and they're holding on to trauma and holding grudges, and so they have hardened hearts. And you don't know that when you first meet them, because you're meeting their representative, you know, the nice person, the person that they present to like coworkers in a potential job. When they want something from you, they put their best face forward. And so you don't know until like you really try to like dive deep and try to make a connection with them, and that's when you start discovering, okay, this person has trauma, this person has been through some things, and I've been through stuff too. But the difference between me and a lot of the other people that I've encountered is that I number one, I don't hold on to it, because if you hold on to the trauma, it's gonna weigh you down. Not only is it gonna weigh you down, you're not gonna be able to enjoy your life. You're not gonna be able to like see things for what they really are. You're gonna be seeing the world through your trauma, and it just will not be a good experience for you. So I've been meeting men that like, they snap at you, they get mad at you, they're not forgiving you for just the smallest of things. You might have mistakenly said, you might have misunderstood a story that they told you or something, and they holding a grudge against you. Like, I could have swore you told me, you know, XYZ, but you know, it's really hard out here for your girl. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I get sick and tired of like the narcissists. Oh my goodness, I never realized how many men that I've come across that are narcissistic. until I looked up what that word meant, because it's been thrown around so much over the last 5 years. And man, when I tell you, it's a lot of narcissists out here. Even the ones you at first you'd be like, because I'm the type of person, I give people benefit of the doubt, and I will say that we as a nation, we're narcissists as a nation in a way. If you look at us overall, but that's politics. I'm not going to get into politics because that's not my thing. But yeah, man, I've run into gaslighters. Oh my goodness, that is a big one too. Like, just a lot of manipulators, men that say that they love God and that they're a man of God and that they pray and all that. No, they don't. They don't read the Bible. They only pray when they gotta say their grace. It's just I think people claim to be Christian. They claim to follow God, but really don't follow God. They don't read His Word. They don't make time for God. They don't sit in prayer. They don't, you know what I'm saying? So I just at the point where now I just give up. I gave up. I'm just like, I'm done. God, I need something different. And at one point, y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like maybe I'm being punished. I lost my job. Yep. But I lost my job, I think, because I want to say when I was, living a holy life, this just on a spiritual level. There's like two sides to everything. So I'm gonna give you my two reasons why I think that things happened. So I was living a holy and righteous life, praying every morning. Every day before I go to work, praying, and everything just seemed like all the bad stuff that was happening at my job, it was like missing me. And people would be talking about how bad it is. They're always racist there. And I was like, I'm not experiencing none of this. Thank you, Jesus, But then I think I got too comfortable and I got relaxed. And, y'all, I backslid. I did. I backslid. And I stopped praying as much. I stopped reading my Bible. And the next thing I knew, I started sinning. I couldn't catch up. I started getting overwhelmed with stuff, and I ended up telling a lie that later backfired. But the lie wasn't that bad. Okay, can't say one lie is worse than the other. A lie is a lie. So I'm gonna just tell y'all, I lied. I was really exhausted one night. I had to drive all the way to Atlanta and help my son out with some stuff. Then I knew I had to be up early in the morning the next morning, so I just drove back to the job, which is like an hour and a half away. So I drive all the way back. By the time I get there, it's like after 11 o'clock. I'm exhausted. I go in there and I pass out in my little room because they had rooms for us. So I go and I pass out. Okay. So then, the next morning, I woke up too late and I was rushing, trying to catch up. It was like a group of us, and I didn't want to hold the group up, so I half-assed on a pre-trip. The pre-trip is where you pre-check the bus before you go on your trips over the road. Check your fluids, your oil, your coolant, your transmission fluid, your washer fluid. You checking the gas hand. You're checking the tire pressure. You're checking your lights, your horns, your everything. You're making sure everything. You're making sure you got all your tools, your equipment. Like in the case of an accident or a breakdown or something, you check everything on that vehicle. Well, I took a shortcut that morning, and I was just like, well, none of the lights are coming on in the dash saying that it's low on coolant. It's not saying this, that, and the third. So I kind of sped through that part, checked my tires, hopped in there, made sure all the stuff was working, like the mics, the TVs, and all that stuff. The bathroom, toilet flushed. I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. So I had one of my coworkers was like she was telling me that like some of the other guys that were there was like complaining about me being late or whatever. And so I said, I pre-checked the bus last night because I knew I was coming in late. That was the lie I told. I did not pre-check that bus, pre-trip the bus the night before. But I told them I did. And then later on that day, I did check my bus, you know, my coolant and all that stuff to make sure that the bus was fine. But I did not previously do it the night before, and I had lied to them and told them that I did. And it came back to back for her. It came back to bite me in the butt because they went back, because they are racist. They went back and told the HR manager, the hiring manager guy, who just seemed like he had it out for me for some odd reason. I don't know what was going on with that, but maybe it was too many black people getting hired, because like it was just me and another lady at first, the two of us for the longest for the whole year, and then all of a sudden they hired a third black woman, and I guess it's just like only room for two, because when I came on, they did the same thing. Another lady ended up getting fired shortly after I got hired, and another lady got hired. So it was like, it's not room for three black women, we only can do two at a time. And the lady that got fired, she told me that they was racist. She told me straight up they was racist. She told me straight up that, you know, they would, you know, band together and try to get me fired and all this. She told me that, but I was just like, I'm just gonna stay prayed up. Maybe that's your experience, but it ain't mine. Well, it was a lot of little small instances adding up where they would like gossip and make up stuff and go run tell to the office, just making up stuff. But in this particular instance, I did, you know, mess up because I did, however, lie. I didn't tell the truth, and I should have told the truth. What's she shaking her head for? But I tell you, the Atlanta drivers is crazy, bro. So anyway, so yeah, they went back and told the office pulled the cameras, and voila, they found out that I did not check my bus the night before, and they fired me. So yeah, that's how I lost my job. And I really think it's because I stopped praying, I stopped reading my Bible, and I backslid, you know. I sinned, I fornicated with the man, and I shouldn't have did it, but I did. Yeah, so that happened, and here I am without a job. But I still DoorDash, handy dandy DoorDash. I've been applying to jobs, I've been praying and asking God to forgive me, and you know, I continued to, I don't want to say I'm not fornicating, but there are some things that I know that I need to correct with my life, and I'm working on that. And I have since repented. I've been praying every day, I've been talking to God, and I just finally was like, okay, I give up. I realized I don't have no friends. Like, it's crazy. Like, I have people that say they're my friends, but I don't really have real friends for real, because like, nobody calls and checks on me. Nobody is like looking out for me. And so I just got to a place where like I'm calling people to check on them, and they too busy to even answer their phone, you know. And I was just like, you know what, God? I kept getting this message to love your God with all your heart and all your soul and all your might. Like, love him with everything. And I realized I haven't been loving God with everything, and that is probably why my life is the way it is, because I haven't been giving myself, you know, I've not really, like, I love God, but have I really been loving God? You know what I mean? So I started talking to God and praying to him and saying that, like, I want to get to know you, Lord Jesus. I want to get to know you, God. And I had to think about it. Like, how do I fall in love with somebody? How do I love somebody? You know, you got to get to know them. You got to spend time with them. And so I would say, as of yesterday, August the, what was yesterday? It was the 10th or the 11th. Hold on. The 11th. August the 11th, I decided that, okay, God, you've been sending me all these signs. You've been sending me all these messages. I'm going to give you a try. For real. Like for real this time. I don't got nothing else. I don't. I have people that I call my friend, and if I ask them for some money, I'm sure, like, if they have it, they'll send me some money. But they don't call me and check on me and just to see how I'm doing. Nobody is just out here, like, planning to come and visit me or saying, hey, let's go here, let's go do this and that. So it's like, I really and truthfully don't feel like I matter in this world to anybody. So since I'm here, I might as well just prepare for the end. At least I can, in death, go to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least I can have that where I can be with God. You know, so I'm like, you know what? I'm about to learn to get close to God. I'm going to, you know, fall in love with him. I'm going to give him a try. That's going to be my man. My man is Jesus Christ. God, the Holy Spirit, you know, the Father. That is it. That is. So I've been just finishing up. I had already started like months ago reading the Bible from the beginning to end, but I hadn't finished. I had stopped. So I had I'm on Deuteronomy right now, and I just been listening all to my audio Bible on audio. Pondering over the scriptures because it goes over it multiple times before it moves on to the next. So it gives me time to like pause and kind of study to find out, you know, what does this word mean? And okay, and pray to God and ask him, okay, so what you mean by this? You know, and I swear it's like God's been like just right here with me the whole time and just kind of like being my friend, you know. And I'm learning God. I want to learn to love like God loves. I want to have God's heart in me. I want to love like God loves. I want to love what God loves. And I want to be in love with God. Because I want, when I die, I want to know where I'm going. I want to go to heaven. I want to be with God. So, this is my journey on learning to fall in love with Jesus and with God, the Holy Spirit. So, yeah, this is gonna be, I'm gonna document it, video blog it, and you guys are gonna be along for the crazy ride that I'm about to go down. So I'm really excited about it. I'm learning a lot of stuff about myself. Like, I knew myself, but like I'm really learning a lot of things about myself that I didn't know before. So yeah, I'm really happy, and I hope you guys enjoy this journey. So right now, I'm not really sure how I'm gonna, you know, record this journey. Like, I don't know if I should tell you guys. Well, I think I'll just keep you updated on, you know, what part of the Bible I'm in, some little quirky thing or, you know, interesting thing that God may have, you know, said to me or bestowed upon me or put in my heart. What just happened? My phone sent me a message. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to just kind of like take you guys along on a journey with me, and hopefully it's entertaining enough for you guys to actually watch, and maybe you will learn something. Maybe I'll drop some jewels for you guys. But yeah, I've been going through some stuff, and like I'm kind of like nervous to share everything with you guys because it's been some stuff. But I guess like what's done in the dark needs to be put in the light, right? Yeah. Okay. So I will give you one. So the entire time since last year of 2024, I lost my apartment in, what was it, January, February, March of 2024? Yeah, March. April, May, June. Yeah, March. I lost my apartment in Buckhead that I had been staying in for like 6 years. And I had got a stroke. This is how it happened. I got a heat stroke. I couldn't work for a while. I lost the job. I had to find another job, but I was behind on bills, and I just kept getting behind, and then they just kept rolling. I would pay, but I would never catch up because the fees kept adding up. So it got to the point where, like, I'm not making enough money to pay, and okay, I keep getting messages, you guys, from people, so I'm gonna pause the video for a second and see what's going on. Something important. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So where was I? Oh, right. So I had a heat stroke. I lost a job. I couldn't pay my bills. I kept trying to pay, and it just got to the point where they wouldn't allow me to pay. Like, say for instance, my rent was $2,000, and I'm already like 3 weeks behind, and then I need like 2 weeks to get it. So then now I got the 2,000, but now the next month have started, and they won't take the 2,000 from the previous month. Now it's the 2,000 from the previous month plus the new $2,000 for the new month that we're in, plus the late fees, plus the court costs, and they just kept adding it up. So at this particular time, the courthouse, they did file for eviction, but the courthouse kept like resetting the date because I guess they were like swamped or something. I don't know what the heck was going on. But then, so that just added. You guys, it was like 5 to 6 months of, this going on. So finally got a court date that actually, didn't get reset, and I was so behind by then. It was just ridiculous. I mean, I have tried. I called 211. I did all the stuff, but nobody wanted to help me or couldn't help me because I had that high ass Buckhead rent. So I was basically on my own, and I was working jobs. I was door dashing. I was doing MARTA. Then got fired from MARTA. Well, hold on. Let me rephrase that. I didn't get fired from MARTA just then. Not like that. So I was working. I got fired from a job. I got, oh my God. Why does this man keep, you guys, I'm so sorry. I keep getting messages from my children's father. He is asking me questions about one of our sons, and it's just really getting on my nerves. So I gotta pause this one more time. Okay, everybody, I apologize for having to pause again. But yeah, so by the time I got to go to court, it was ridiculously expensive, and I just went ahead and accepted my fate, and I hurried up and found me somewhere else to go. At this time, I did not have a job. I did not have a job at that time. And I moved into this house, and I moved into the house under someone else's name. And I kept telling myself, if I just make $100 a day doing DoorDash, I should be able to pay the rent. Rent, lights, gas, car gas, insurance, food, man, y'all, making $100 a day is not the problem. Trying to actually keep $100 a day to save to pay my rent while I am unemployed was not happening. It was almost impossible, because, like, let's say I made $100, right, and then I end up having to pay what, $40 in gas. That's $60 left, right? And then here comes the household. We need groceries. That's $60 gone. Okay, no problem. Let's try this again. So try this again. Okay, door dashing, make $100. I gotta go pick up kids, do this, do that, do this. So I'm lucky to make that $100. And it just kept happening like that every day. Okay, so now I got the $60 a day. And with the $60 a day, I gotta pay gas, lights, phone bill, all this stuff. It ain't working. I'm not making it. I ended up finding me a job at MARTA. Okay, I can breathe a little bit. Things are looking up. Man, why I went back to MARTA, I don't know. I don't know why I went back. It was like the worst decision ever, because I should have went back to bus, but I went to drive their trains. And that's what messed me up. The train, not even the heavy train, it was like the little light rail train that they have, and it was a disaster. The lady, let's just say they fired me. Let's just say that, because they got mad because they tried to send me home for making a mistake of opening the train doors on the wrong side. Nobody was on the train, but I thought the lady told me to open the doors on the left side of the train, which is the side facing the street. Nobody was on the train now, and I opened the doors on that side while we were at a platform. We weren't moving. There was no one on the train with us. She said, "I'm sending you home without pay." What? Yeah, I'm sending you home without pay. You can't do that. I went to headquarters and I told them what she said. They said she can't do that, and they called the supervisor over that department. She sent me home and said that she was gonna put me on administrative leave with pay. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I got 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, cool. So when I came back for them 2 weeks, they fired me and said I should not have went to headquarters, and that's why they were firing me. And I'm just like, this is some bull crap. I tried to fight it. They didn't do nothing, because it was like, oh, you got fired. Ain't nothing we could do about it. So that was some bull crap. So here I am in this new place, no job again, and got to pay this rent. I was there for 3 months before I had to get put out. So I left there, tried to find somewhere, ended up staying with one of my sons briefly. He did not want me to stay with him, and so I ended up going to a hotel. And during that time, I had found me another job that was a really good paying job, and I loved it, which is the job I told y'all about. And I couldn't find nowhere to live though, because now I got an eviction on my credit. So now I'm like, man, this is crazy. So I tried everything. There was this lady saying that she could help me. She asked me to pay her. I think I paid that lady like $1,250 to help me, and she still didn't get me in nowhere. And then she just stopped taking my calls and just ghosted me. So she took $1,200 from me and wasted my time. So that was horrible. And yeah, it just, I don't know what to do. I've been trying to find somewhere to go. And so then for a whole year, I had just been paying for Airbnbs, hotels. My two of my sons ended up getting a room, paying for a room at a house that my oldest son was staying at. So they live in there, and it's just me and the young one, and my youngest son. And their dad doesn't help out. What he does is like, oh, if the boys need some food, he'll take them to go get some fast food or something. He might throw them $20, little stuff like that. I've been through a lot, you guys. In this time, so I'm working this job. We got the Airbnb. So we kind of stable, but not really, because it's an Airbnb. People book, and then you have to move out, and then you got to move to a different place. It's not a really good lifestyle to be living. So unless you can work a deal out with somebody and they'll accept that. But that was very hard, because they were trying to charge like $3,000 for one bedroom. And I'm like, $3,000? Like, get out of here. So My son, who at the time he was 19, he was the victim of a hate crime. White guy in the neighborhood ran him over on purpose. Told him and his friends, my son and his friends were standing at the gas station, and the guy saw them, came out and started saying stuff like, why don't y'all go home? Y'all ain't got no home. Y'all some bums. Just saying all kind of crazy stuff. And one of the friends, he's kind of flashy. He pulls out his money. I got money, you know, and showing out or whatever. And the next thing you know, they're like going back and forth. My son, he ain't paying attention to nothing. He's on his pretty boy mess. He done got his hair freshly cut. He got his fresh gear on. He's standing there with his phone, and he looking at his phone. He ain't paying attention. He kind of like seeing what's going on, but he ain't really, you know, he's one of those type of people that are very nonchalant. So the guy was like trying to run them over, and my son wasn't really engaging in the situation, and he got ran over. And the friends pulled the guy out the car, beat him up real bad, which he deserved it. The ambulance came. Those friends, they were scared because of how bad they beat the guy up, so they ran off because the cops came. And one friend stayed with my son until the ambulance came. And my son was, y'all, he was near death when I finally saw him. When I heard about it, I just rushed to the hospital. I beat the ambulance there. And I don't know how I beat the ambulance there. That's interesting. What was the ambulance doing? I guess they were trying to save his life. Because from what they told me, he was screaming because he had broken ribs, broken spine, broken femur bone, broken collarbone, lacerations to his kidney and his liver. He had like, his skin was just ripped all across his back down to his butt. It was so bad. My son, he was messed up. At this time, I had started going to a church last November called 2819 Church, and the church was like not everything. It was just like a breath of fresh air. I felt like I had purpose there. Even though I still was homeless, I was working my job and I was making good money. Just couldn't find a word that would take me, being that I had an eviction. Had I really thought about it, I would have went ahead and just was paying on that balance that I owed, because they didn't put it like an eviction, they put it down like a balance owed. So that's even worse. But anyway, so I should have been paying on it, but it was just so high. I was just like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to pay this ever. Long story short, I go to the hospital. I have my church pray. They came, they prayed, I sat with my son day and night. And it was rough. It was very rough. I needed a car. My truck broke down on me. Oh, man, I swear, I have so much bad stuff happen to me. It's crazy. So my truck of 7 years decided that the engine didn't want to work anymore. So the engine broke, tore up on me. So it was sitting at my old apartments. So I had to get this vehicle that I'm in now. I miss my Yukon, man. I'm a Yukon girl. But yeah, I miss it. But I'm driving this flex car, which at the time I got it, I did not know that it was gonna become a nightmare. So they like charge you get like tiers. Like if you only drive a few, 800 miles a month, or if you drive 1,000 miles a month, or if you drive like 1,200 miles a month, and so like the price varies. So if you go over your miles, they charge you $31 per 100 miles over. So yeah, it's really expensive. But they have this thing where like they'll split the payment into 2 payments per month for you. So now you can, let's say you got the $1,000 a month one. It comes with insurance too, by the way. So you got the $1,000 a month one, right? and they split it into two. That's $500. There's two payments of $500. You pay in the beginning of the month, and then you pay like 2 weeks later. And so, but then if you run out of miles before that time, you're paying $31.61 per 100 miles that you go over every time. So, long story short, so I lost my truck, my son got ran over, I don't have anywhere to live, I'm living in Airbnbs and hotels, and stuff just got rough, bro. Like, it just got really rough on us. My attorney friend, she did sue the guy's insurance, but that wasn't a lot. He had liability, so that wasn't a lot of money. My son, however, did use that money to purchase himself and his younger brother a vehicle, which is good. So they got used cars, but they were like junk cars because he didn't have a lot of money. Wasn't a lot of money. I wish I would have known he was gonna do that, because I would have been like, buy your mama a car too. But it's all good, you know. I was thinking that his best bet would have been to just pay his rent up or something, since he couldn't walk for months. Long story short, because I know I've gone over 30 minutes now. So during this time, I ended up getting back with my ex, and I originally had kind of like separated myself from him because I was trying to be close to the Lord. I was trying to, you know, keep the Lord's commandments, no fornication and things like that. But I ended up getting back with him because he showed up to the hospital, and, you know, things just happened. During that time, though, I did go on dates, and I met somebody, and I thought he was like into church like I was. Kind of found out he was not. He was not at all. But anyway, so I started back to talking to my ex. So here I am, and boom, lost my job. Yeah. So and here I am now, moved into the house that my sons are renting, and I am looking for a job. And I found some good, you know, companies that were hiring. I put in applications to them, and I've been doing DoorDash, but my bills are still piling up. I'm behind on all of my credit cards. I'm also behind on this payment for this car. I just paid on it today, but also my storage bill is about to send my stuff off to auction if I don't make the payment by September. So yeah, I don't have no friends. I don't talk to my mom because she put me and my son out. For no reason. We're not dirty people. We're not, you know, I work all the time. My son is barely there because he don't really, you know, want to be there by himself with her, because I don't really have a real relationship with her because she was not in my life. You know, she gave me up for adoption when I was a little girl. But because I needed somewhere to go, I went and stayed at her house, and she didn't want us there. I did, now in her defense, which I'm not really defending her, because if it were me, I wouldn't have did that. I did say I needed at least a month to stack some money up, and this is during the time the lady was supposed to be helping me get a place, and I kept believing this lady was going to help me get a place, and I stacked up money to move into an apartment, but she never got me an apartment to move into. So my mother, my biological mom, decided that she was tired of me being there, and so, you know, I offered to pay her money and everything. She just was done. And it's all because her boyfriend came in from out of town, and she wanted to have hanky-panky with him, and he wanted to do it with her, but he was mad because he was like, I thought you said your daughter was only going to be here for a short amount of time. And she was like, oh, she's trying to get a place together, get her a place, and this and the third. But she was mad. Like, she didn't want to talk to me for like a whole day. She stayed shut up in her room and didn't want to talk to me. All because her boyfriend came in town, and he was upset that I was still there. And she was like, we had an agreement that none of our grown children would live with us. Really? what kind of mess is that? Like, why would you even want to date a man that would tell you not to help your family in their time of need? I never asked this woman for anything. Like, and the one time I need her, she chose a man over me. So I don't deal with her anymore. I just kind of like, I love her from afar. She tried to like lie and tell the hospital that she was some relative from Savannah, Georgia, so she could like get information on my son being in the hospital, because one of my other sons told a cousin, and the cousin told auntie, and the auntie told my mother. So I'm just like, why are you doing all of that when you could just pick up the phone and call me and find out what you need to find out, or if you want to come visit him? She just wanted to be nosy. That's what the real deal was. She didn't really care that my son was fighting for his life. She just wanted to get the tea. So I reluctantly let her come and visit, but the whole time she was there, she's like texting on her phone, telling people what's going on and stuff. And it was just really disgusting to me that she only showed up for her grandson to gossip. Yeah, but it's all good. So I just don't talk to her, and it's not like I blocked her or anything. She literally blocked me, and I told her she can come back and visit if she doesn't gossip or have any negativity around him while he's in ICU. She never showed back up. So I don't talk to her. I just don't call. It's not like she's blocked. If she wanted to call me or talk to me, she could, but she doesn't. So I got to a place where I just kind of got overwhelmed with a lot of stuff. I ended up losing my job. I told y'all that story in the beginning. And here I am. I'm just like, I call my friends. I check on them. A lot of times they're too busy, and they have lives of their own, and that's fine. It's just I realize that I have nobody. So all my relationships that I've tried to have, they have not worked out. So why not try Jesus? I mean, he keeps sending me messages anyways. He keeps trying to get me to pay attention, so that's what I'm doing now. I am repenting. I'm not turning back to my sinful ways. And I'm going to document the journey to hold myself accountable. And I would like for you guys to hold me accountable as well. I'm currently reading Deuteronomy in the Bible. And I'm praying every day. I'm going to incorporate my fasting on my own. And let's see how this walk with God turns out. I'm really excited. I want to get to know God. I want to get close to him. I want to fall in love with him. And I'm ready. So anyways, I don't know what else to say, but that's where I'm at right now. So yeah, I got to go and DoorDash, you guys. I got bills to pay. So peace. I love you guys. Till next time.